Nehemiah chapter 11.
The nation's leaders and their families settled in Jerusalem, but there was room for only one out of every 10 of the remaining families, and so they asked God to show them who would live there. Then everyone else asked God to bless those who were willing to live in Jerusalem. Some of the people of Israel, the priests, the Levites, the temple workers, and the descendants of Solomon's servants, lived on their own property in the towns of Judah. But the leaders of the province lived in Jerusalem with their families. From the Judah tribe, 2 leaders settled in Jerusalem with their relatives. One of them was Athaiah, son of Uzziah. His ancestors were Zechariah, Amariah, Shephatiah, Mahalalel, and Perez, the son of Judah. From the descendants of Perez, 468 of the best men lived in Jerusalem. The other leader from Judah was Maaseiah, the son of Barak. His ancestors were Kohosah, Hosea, Adaiah, Joiarib, Zechariah, and Shelah, the son of Judah. From the Benjamin tribe, 3 leaders settled in Jerusalem. The first was Sallu, son of Meshullam, and the others were Gabai and Sallai. Sallu's ancestors were Joed, Pedaiah, Kolaiah, Maaseiah, Ithiel, and Jeshiah. Altogether, there were 928 men of the Benjamin tribe living in Jerusalem. Joel, son of Zichri, was their leader, and Judah, son of Hassenuah, was second in command. 4 priests settled in Jerusalem. The first was Jedaiah. He was the son of Joiarib and the uncle of Jachin. The second priest to settle there was Seraiah, son of Hilkiah. His ancestors were Meshullam, Zadok, Meraioth, and Ahitub, who had been a high priest. Altogether, there were 822 from his clan who served in the temple. The third priest to settle there was Adaiah, son of Jeroham. His ancestors were Pelaliah, Amzai, Zechariah, Pashhur, and Malchijah. Altogether, there were 242 clan leaders among his relatives. The fourth priest to settle there was Amasai, son of Azarel. His ancestors were Azai, Meshillemoth, and Immer. Altogether, there was 128 brave warriors from their clans, and their leader was Zabdiel, son of Haggedolim. Several Levites settled in Jerusalem. First, there was Shemaiah, son of Hashab. His ancestors were Azrikam, Hashabiah, and Bunai. Next, there was Shabbathai and Jozabad, who were in charge of the work outside the temple. Then there was Mattaniah, son of Micah. His ancestors were Zabdi and Asaph. Mattaniah led the temple choir in the prayer of praise. Bakbukiah, who also settled in Jerusalem, was his assistant. Finally, there was Abda, son of Shammua. His grandfather was Galal, and his great-grandfather was Jeduthun. Altogether, 284 Levites settled in the holy city. 172 temple guards settled in Jerusalem. Their leaders were Akub and Talmon. The rest of the Israelites, including priests and Levites, lived on their own property in the other towns of Judah. But the temple workers lived in the section of Jerusalem known as Ophel, and the 2 men in charge of them were Zihah and Gishpa. Uzzi, son of Bani, was the leader of the Levites in Jerusalem. His grandfather was Hashabiah, his great-grandfather was Mattaniah, and his great-great-grandfather was Micah. He belonged to the Asaph clan that was in charge of the music for the temple services, though the daily choice of music and musicians was decided by royal decree of the Persian king. The people of Israel were represented at the Persian court by Pethahiah, son of Meshezabel, from the Zerah clan of the Judah tribe. Some of the people of Judah lived in the following towns near their farms: Kiriath Arba, Dibon, Jekabzeel, Jeshua, Moladah, Beth Pelet, Hazer Shual, Beersheba, Ziklag, Mekona, and Rimmon, Zorah, Jarmuth, Zanoah, Adullam, Lachish, Azekah. In fact, they settled the towns from Beersheba in the south to Hinnom Valley in the north. The people of Benjamin lived in the towns of Geba, Michmash, Ajah, Bethel with its nearby villages, Anathoth, Nob, Ananiah, Hazor, Ramah, Gideam, Hadid, Zeboim, Nebalat, Lod, and Ono, as well as in Craft Valley. Several groups of Levites from the territory of Judah were sent to live among the people of Benjamin.